Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Tazeen and I am really happy you are here. Before we begin, just a quick note, this story is narrated in my own voice, not an AI. So if you notice a few pronunciation mistakes here and there, I hope you will understand. Now grab your favorite snack, get comfortable and let's dive into today's Reddit story.
I never imagined that one weekend away with my husband would almost destroy his relationship with his mother. All because we did not answer our phones. Apparently, spending one day offline was enough for her to believe the worst, and somehow it became our fault. Looking back now, I wish I had kept our secret tip a secret. For some background, my name is Olivia. I am 34-year-old and my husband Nathan is 37. 3 months ago, we welcomed our beautiful baby girl Sophie in the world. Becoming parents was the happiest moment of our lives. It was also the most exhausting. Every day felt the same: feed the baby, change the diapers, rock her back to the sleep, try to grab an hour or two of rest before doing it all over again. We loved every second with Sophie, but somewhere along the way, Nathan and I stopped being a couple. We became teammates trying to survive parenthood. One evening, Nathan came home from work with a smile I had not seen in months. He handed me a small envelope. Open it. Inside were two concert tickets. Not just any concert, my favorite band playing in London. The concert was only a few weeks away. I looked at him in complete shock. When did you buy this? He grinned. The day they went on sale. I wanted to surprise you. I wrapped my arms around him. I can't believe you remember. He laughed. Of course I remember. You deserve a break, honestly. He was right. We had not had a single night together since Sophie was born. Thankfully, my parents immediately offered to babysit. Everything was falling perfect into place. Well, almost everything. There was one person who had not told yet. We had not told yet. Nathan's mother, Patricia. Now, Patricia was not a bad person. She loved her family more than anything. But she had one habit that drove everyone about crazy. She worried constantly. If Nathan did not answer his phone within 20 minutes, she assumed something terrible had happened. If a text message stayed unread, she would call. Then she would call again and again. If nobody answered, she would start calling relatives, friends, neighbors, anyone she thought might knew where we were. Nathan had been dealing with it since he was a teenager. He once ignored his phone during the movie. By the time he walked outside, she had called him 18 times. Then she called the police asking them to perform a welfare check. Nothing had happened. His phone was simply on silent. After that, Nathan stopped sharing travel plans with her. Less information, less panic, at least. That was usually the plan. A week before the concert, Patricia called while I was folding laundry. She casually asked, "So, anything exciting happening this weekend?" Without thinking, I smiled. Actually, yes, Nathan surprised me with the concert tickets. We are driving to London for one night while my parents watch Sophie. There was a short pause. Then Patricia asked, "Oh, when are you leaving?" I answered, "Friday morning, and you will be back Saturday afternoon." "What hotel you are staying in?" I told her. "What time you are driving?" I answered that too. At the time, it felt like normal conversation. I did not think anything about it. That evening, Nathan came home. I excitedly told him everything. "I talked to your mom today." His smile disappeared immediately. "You told her?" I blinked. "Yes." He slowly rubbed his forehead. "Olivia, I was not planning to tell her." I frowned. "Why?" "You know why." I thought about it for a second, then suddenly understood. "Oh," he nodded. "Exactly." I felt terrible. "I am sorry. I honestly did not think it would be a big deal." Nathan gave me a small smile. "It's okay. What's done is done." Then he looked at his phone. "Let's just hope she does not overreact." I laughed. "I am sure it will be fine." Nathan looked at me for a moment before quietly saying, "I really hope you are right." Friday morning finally arrived. We packed the car before sunrise. Dropping Sophie off at my parents' house was harder than either of us expected. I kissed her tiny forehead over and over again. Nathan chuckled. "Liv, we will only be gone one night." "I know. I just miss her already." He smiled. "That means you are a great mom." A few minutes later, we finally hit the road. For the first hour, everything was perfect. Then Nathan's phone buzzed. "Patricia, did you leave yet?" A minute later, "Drive carefully then. Don't forget to stop and stretch." Another message, "Text me when you get there." Nathan irritated turned his phone down, face down, and smiled at me. "One weekend, and that's all I want." I smiled back. We deserve it. At that moment, neither of us realized those unanswered messages were about to turn our relaxing weekend into a family disaster. By the time we arrived in London, it was almost 6 in the evening. The city was alive, people filled the street, restaurants were packed, and everywhere we looked, fans wearing concert t shirts were making their way toward the arena. For the first time in months, Nathan was not thinking about work. I was not thinking about diapers or baby bottles. For one evening, we were just husband and wife again, and honestly, it felt amazing. As we walked toward the entrance, Nathan pulled out his phone. He frowned. Wow, what? I asked. He turned the screen toward me. 26 unread messages. Every single one from Patricia. I could not help but laugh. Oh no. He opened the conversation. The first few messages were completely normal. Did you make it safely? Hope traffic was not that bad. Send me a picture when you get there. But after that, the tone changed. Nathan, why are you not answering? I am getting worried. Please just let me know you are okay. Then she started texting me too. Since my phone had been buried inside my purse after all, I had not even noticed. Nathan sighed, I will text her after the concert. I nodded. She will understand. He gave me a look. You don't know my mom. The concert was incredible. For nearly 3 hours, we forgot about everything waiting for us back home. We sang every song, we laughed, we danced. At one point, Nathan leaned over and whispered, I forgot what it felt like to relax. I smiled. We needed this. For those few hours, life felt normal again. When we finally got back to the hotel, it was almost midnight. Nathan unlocked his phone. His face immediately changed. What is it? I asked. He did not answer. Instead, he handed me his phone. I could not believe what I was seeing. 52 missed calls, not messages calls. Most of them from Patricia. The rest were from his sister, Melissa. There were also several voicemails. Nathan rubbed his forehead. I knew this was going to happen. You should probably call her, I said. He nodded, I know. He pressed the call button. She answered before the first ring had even finished. Nathan. Her voice was so loud I could hear it without a speakerphone. Where have you been? Nathan stayed calm. We have been at the concert. You disappeared. My phone was on silent. I thought something terrible happened. We are perfectly fine. You could not send me one text? We were enjoying our evening. There was a long pause. Then Patricia said something that caught both of us off guard. I have been crying for hours. Nathan looked at me. I could see the guilt on his face, but I also knew this was not healthy. He spoke softly. Mom, we are okay. We will talk tomorrow. Before she could continue, he ended the call. Neither of us said anything for a few moments. Finally, I broke the silence. I actually feel bad. Nathan nodded slowly. So do I, but this is exactly why I did not want her to know. The next morning, we checked out of the hotel. Our plan was simple: drive home, pick up Sophie from our parents, and finally sleep in our own bed. About halfway through the drive, I reached for my phone. It was not there. Nathan, I can't find my phone. We reached everywhere: my purse, dashboard, back seat, nothing. Finally, Nathan looked under my seat. There it is. My phone had slipped into the narrow gap beneath the passenger seat. I reached down, but I could not grab it. It will have to wait until we stop. We planned to pull over at the next service station, but every time we saw one, we kept driving. I just want to get home to Sophie, I said. Nathan smiled me too. Without realizing it, another 4 hours passed. Neither of us has checked our phone. Neither of us knew what was happening behind home. When we finally pulled into my parents' driveway, I grabbed my phone from under the seat. The screen lit up. 34 missed calls. I felt my stomach sink. Almost every single one from Patricia. The rest were from Lisa and even Nathan's uncle. I looked over at Nathan. His phone looked exactly the same. Before either of us could say a word, his phone started ringing again. Patricia calling. Nathan answered, Hey mom. She did not even say hello. Where are you? We were at Rebecca and Thomas' house picking up Sophie. You ignored me all day. We were driving. You had hours to answer one message. Nathan took a slow breath. We could not reach our phone. I don't believe you. I froze. Nathan stayed calm. We will explain everything later. No. You should apologize. Nathan blinked. Apologize? For making me worry like this? There was a long silence. Finally, Nathan quietly replied, No, mom. Another silence. Then she hung up. I stared at him. I don't think she is going to let this go. Nathan looked out the windshield and sighed. I don't think so either. Unfortunately, neither of us realized the harder conversation was still waiting for us. The rest of the drive home was completely silent. Nathan kept his eyes on the road while I stared out the window. Neither of us wanted to admit it, but we both knew this was not really about an unanswered calls anymore. It was about something much bigger, boundaries. The next morning, Nathan's phone rang again. This time it was from his older sister Melissa. He answered and put on the speaker. "Hey," Melissa said. "Nathan, mom has not slept all night. He stayed quiet. She keeps saying you don't care about her anymore." Nathan rubbed his forehead. "I love mom, but I am not going to spend every vacation glued to my phone just to calm her anxiety." Melissa paused. "I understand, but she is expecting you to apologize." Nathan laughed softly. "Apologize for what?" "For not answering." He shook his head. "No, I would not apologize for spending one weekend with my wife." Melissa did not argue. Instead, she quietly admitted, "Honestly, I think you are right." Nathan looked surprised. "I have dealt with this for years too. If I don't answer my phone for an hour, she assumes the worst. I guess we have all just gotten used to it." Nathan sighed. "That's exactly the problem." Around lunchtime, there was a knock at the front door. I already knew who it was. Patricia. She walked inside without smiling. Her eyes were red from crying. For a second, I actually felt guilty. Nathan invited her to sit down. The moment she sat on the couch, she burst into tears. "I thought I would lose my son. I imagined your car crashing. I almost called the police." Nathan listened quietly. When she finished, he reached over and handed her a glass of water. "I am sorry you were scared," he nodded. "Then why did not you answer?" Nathan calmly replied, "Because I was living my life." The room went silent. Patricia stared at him. "What does that mean?" "It means I am 37-year old. I am married. I am a father. I am allowed to spend one day with my wife without checking my phone every few minutes." She looked hurt. "So now I am a burden?" "No," Nathan replied gently. "You are my mother and I love you. But your anxiety has become everyone else's responsibility. You expect us to stop living our lives just so you don't have to worry." Tears filled Patricia's eyes again. "I only worry because I love you." "I know," Nathan smiled, "but love and control are not the same thing." She turned toward me. "Olivia, do you think I am controlling?" I hesitated for a second, then answered honestly, "I think you are a loving grandmother and I know you care about us. But calling us more than 80 times in one weekend, is it not normal? And asking Nathan to apologize for enjoying time with his family, it is not fair." She looked down at her hands for the first time since she had arrived. She did not argue. Nathan leaned forward. "Mom, from now on, here's how things are going to work. If we are traveling, we will text you when we arrive and we will text you when we are heading home. If there is an emergency, you will be the first person we call. But if we are on vacation, we are going to enjoy it. We are not going to spend the entire trip staring at our phones." Patricia quietly nodded. "I don't know if I can stop worrying." Nathan reached over and squeezed her hand. "You don't have to stop worrying. You just have to stop letting your worry control everyone else." A few weeks passed. Things were different. Patricia still sent good morning messages. She still reminded us to drive safely, but the constant phone calls stopped. Then one Sunday afternoon, she invited us for a lunch. Halfway through the meal, she cleared her throat. "I have started seeing a therapist." Nathan looked surprised. "You have?" She nodded. "I did not realize how much my anxiety was affecting everyone. I thought I was protecting my family, but instead I was pushing them away." Nathan smiled. "I am really proud of you." She looked at both of us. "And I am sorry." I reached across the table and hugged her. It did not erase everything overnight, but it was a beginning. Sometimes the strongest families are not the ones who never have problems. They are the ones willing to have different conversations before those problems destroy their relationship. Setting boundaries is not cruel. Sometimes it is the kindest thing you can do, because healthy relationships are not built on constant reassurance. They are built on trust. So this is the whole story, and let me know your opinion in the comments, and I will meet you in the next video. Bye bye. Tata.